for the song he's going to be singing soon. Before that, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to Sri Gaurita's temple here. And I extend, on behalf of all of us, I extend a very warm welcome to His Grace Madhavananda Prabhu. And many of you already know, because Prabhu had here last year, he gave a wonderful, this kind of a week-long seminar last year. So we are again very fortunate to have him here. For people who might not know him, Madhavananda Prabhu is a very learned devotee, and he has dedicated his life in the service of Srila Prabhupada and his own Guru Maharaj, Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj. And some of you might know about Gaur Govind Maharaj. And he is a scholar and a great devotee in his own right. When he met Prabhupada, first thing he asked him, have you taken sannyas? Because Prabhupada knew immediately he is that kind of a person. And Gaur Maharaj said, at that time, I don't remember what his legal name was. What's his legal name?
He said he didn't say
anything. But he thought to himself, this is my guru. He knows my heart.
Yeah, so that's a reciprocation anyway. So Maharaj became a Prabhupada's disciple, and he was in charge of constructing the big temple in Bhubaneswar. So there's a very nice mandir in Bhubaneswar. And Madhavananda Prabhu has been living in Sri Kshetra Jagannath Puri, to my knowledge, over 20 years. And he is fully absorbed in understanding Mahaprabhu and his Leela from the perspective of how the people from Odisha look at him, and you know Mahaprabhu's pastimes during the time, almost 24 years Mahaprabhu stayed in Puri Jagannath. So he is also editing Gaur Govind Maharaj, and has published also many of Gaur Govind Maharaj's books, and also an e-magazine called Krishna Bandhu, Krishna Kathamrita Bindu. So people can actually subscribe to that. We will pass around a sheet, and if you give your email address, you will also get that. So without taking too much time, again a warm welcome to Prabhu and his able and wonderful wife, Mother Krishna Kun is also, we welcome her. And without too much delay, we will get started. Today's topic is the qualities and behavior of a genuine disciple. And Prabhu will be talking about it for the next 4 days, I believe, starting including today. And weekend also is a program. If you have not seen the flyer, please take a look at it. Some of you might not have seen it. We have Bhagavatam class on Saturday and Sunday morning. And with the Guru Puja starting at 7:30, and we will have a Bhagavatam class by His Holiness Niranjan Maharaj. Maharaj is also here. So there will be wonderful Kirtan and Bhagavatam lecture. And in the evening we will have again Prabhuji's presentation. Please take a look at the brochure and make sure and tell your friends whoever is interested, they can come and be part of this wonderful session. Thank you all again. Hare Krishna.
So we'll sing a song. I'll just say a few words about it before we sing. This is by Srila Lochan Das Thakur. Lochan Das Thakur is a disciple of Srila Narahari Sarkar. Narahari Sarkar was the first Vaishnav who began writing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, been recording them in the form of songs. His disciple is Lochan Das. Lochan Das was a famous author of the Chaitanya Mangal. So it's a very nice song. He says, Shri Krishna Bhajana Lagi Sangsare Ainu. That I came, the purpose of me coming to this sangsara, this material world, was to do bhajan of Krishna. But then Maya Jali Bhandi Hoya Briksha Samana Hoinu. I became bound up in the net of Maya. And then I became Briksha Samana. I became like a briksha, like a tree. And this song is the story of the tree of my life. Sneha Latta, Bedi Bedi, Tanu Kaila Seshe. Said at that time, the vine of material love coiled around me, that Latta, in the form of Sneha, form of love, material love. And then at that time, Kita Rupe Nari, Nari means a woman in the form of a tree-boring insect, Hridoya Prabeshe, entered into my heart. Falarupe Putra Kanya, Dali Mangi Pari. Then at that time, the tree of my life, it began to grow fruits in the form of Putra Kanya, sons and daughters, on the tree of my life. And those fruits, Bangi Pari, they fell down from the tree of my life. They landed on the ground. They left me. Those children, when they grow up, they leave us. Kalarupi Bhihanga Upari Basakori. Then he says that time made a nest in the tree of my life. Baritena Paila Gacha Sukaiya Gela, because I didn't water that tree of my life. And what is the water? Shravanam Kirtanam Jali, the water of hearing and chanting. I didn't water that tree of my life. It got dry. Sukaiya Gela. Sangsarera Dhavanala Tahite Lagila. And then the terrible forest fire of material existence caught the tree of my life. My tree of my life began to burn. And at that time, there were two streams of smoke coming up from the tree of my life. Durasa Durbasana, Dui Ute Dumaiya. Those are my wicked desires and my false hopes. These are the two columns of smoke coming up from the burning tree of my life. And then I began to call out, Fukara Korye, Locha Mari Lamapudia. I'm dying, I'm dying. And he finishes, Egao Moor Vaishnava Gosai. Oh, Vaishnav Thakur, please save me, help me. Karunara Jalasincha Tabi Rakshapai. Please sprinkle the water of your mercy on this tree of my life, which is on fire. Very appropriate song for what we want to speak about today. So please sing with us nicely. Someone have a key? So I just want to get this off. It's normal. I got it. Oh, it's loose. Suguru Nitai Go Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Bolo. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine. All together. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvisesa Shunyavadi Asyachadi Shatadine. Vansha Patsurubhyascha bolo. Panchakalpatarubhyascha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa sindubhyeva cha Kripa sindubhyeva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna bhajana lagi sansare ainu Shri Krishna bhajana lagi ainu Shri Krishna bhajana lagi sansare ainu bhajana lagi sansare ainu maya jale bandi hoya vriksha samana hoinu maya jale hoya vriksha samana hoinu maya jale bandi hoya vriksha samana hoinu bandi hoya vriksha samana hoinu Sneha lata bedi bedi tanu koila se se tanu koila se se Sneha lata bedi bedi tanu koila se se Kidarupe nare tahe hridoye prabeshe Kidarupe nare tahe hridoye prabeshe Kidarupe nare tahe hridoye prabeshe Falarupe putra kanya dale bangi pade Falarupe putra kanya dale bangi pade Falarupe putra kanya dale bangi pade Vajrakanya Dale Bangi Pare Kalarupi Bihanda Upare Basa Kore Upare Basa Kore Kalarupi Bihanda Upare Basa Kore Kalarupi Bihanda Durasa Dubasana Dui Ute Dumaya Durasa Dubasana Dui Ute Dumaya Basana Dui Ute Dumaya Fukara Koroye Lochan Marilama Puria Fukara Koroye Lochan Marilam Puria Fukara Koroye Lochan Marilam Puria Koroye Lochan Marilam Puria Egao Mora Vaishnava Gosai Egao Mora Vaishnava Gosai Egao Mora Vaishnava Gosai Vaishnava Gosai Karunara Jala Sincha Bolo Karunara Jala Sincha Karunara Jala Karunara Jala Sincha Karunara Jala Sincha Tabe Raksha Pai Tabe Raksha Tabe Raksha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gora Bhakta Brinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gora Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo Bolo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone all together. Hare, bolo bolo. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Nitai Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur, Nitai Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai Jaya Gaur, Krishna Kun. Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo, Shri Guru Nitai Gaura, Premanandi Hari Haribo, Srila Prabhupada Ke. Shri Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki, Shri Prem Data Nityananda Prabhu Ki, Shri Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ke, Bolo Giriraj Maharaj Ki, Shri Radhakund Shamakund Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki, Shri Mayapur Navadvitam Ki, Shri Purushottam Ketar Jagannath Puri Dhama Ki, Go Premanandi Hari Hari Bo, Samaveda Bhakta Binda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Goragraganya Gana Gota Golaruharam Goranga Gudatama Gopyada Kopa Vriksham Gopala Gada Ratidan Yati Singha Gora Govinda Deshi Kavaram Satatam Namami Uttama Adama Kichuna Bachila Jachiya Dileka Kola Kahi Premananda Emona Gauranga Hridoya Dariya Bola Bhaja Gauranga Kahal Gauranga Laha Gaurangera Namore Bhaja Gauranga Kaha Gauranga Laha Gaurangera Namore Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje Se Hoy Amara Pranare Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje Se Hoy Amara Pranare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Below. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yashaiva Padambuja Bhakti Labhya Prema Bidana Parama Pumarta Tasmai Jagan Mangala Mangalaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Madgavirapi Gopala Sri Kuryat Kripaya Jadi Tadaiva Sambhaya Pitva Rishayustat Priya Janaha Shri Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Sasanatana Rupaka Gopala Raghunath Apta Brajabala Bapahimam Vanchakopadarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Bhyahevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. It's a nice verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adila chapter 10. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes Shri Chaitanya Padamboja Madhu Pebhyo Namo Namaha Katam Chadashrayad Yesham Swapi Tad Ganda Bhag Bhavet. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto all of you. You're all be-like devotees who are always tasting the honey of the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here in Ottawa. If even a doggish non-devotee like myself somehow takes shelter of devotees such as yourselves, then he can get Swapi Tadganda Bhaga Bhavet. He can get some very nice fragrance of a lotus flower. Hare Krishna. Lakshmanath Prabhu Ki Jai Ho. So I'm very, very humbled today to speak in front of Niranjan Maharaj and Guru Prasad Prabhu and Lakshmanath Prabhu and so many senior devotees. Guru Prasad Prabhu said some nice things before we came. It brought something into my mind. It said that Guru Kripa Hi Kevalam. What is Guru Kripa Hi Kevalam? How can we translate that? Basically, you can translate it, all that we need is Guru Prasad. Isn't that right? Isn't that all we need is Guru Prasad? We need Guru Prasad mercy and we need Guru Prasad Prabhu. So for the next few days, with the blessings of the devotees, I'd like to try to speak a little something. It's not so easy to speak in front of my Guru Janas, especially about something for which I'm not qualified for. But I take shelter of the fact that Srila Prabhupada sometimes engaged his disciples to speak in front of him, as did Srila Vyasadeva engaged Sukadeva Goswami, his son, to speak in front of him. And in one sense, this is also mercy on me, that I can speak something in front of all of you senior devotees. You can chastise me and correct me. That's very good. We'd like to try to have something of a Vaishnava Sangha for the next few days, and this is why Maharaj is coming here, I know. And that's why we're all gathered here together, not for some academic purpose, or to get some information, to get a Bhakti Shastri degree, or this or that. But our purpose in coming here is to come together as a group, to come together as a community, to have a Vaishnava Sangha. And so for that, I'd like to encourage everyone, at the end of our talk, we'll have some time for some discussions, some reflections from the devotees. So if there's something that we've said that resonates with you, you have some comments on things, please feel free to say something. It brings everyone closer together. We'd like to speak something for the next few days as a service for Narendra Maharaj from the 3rd chapter of the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam. This is a particular service for him because last year in Megalinovka, Maharaj was speaking something from some of the verses we're going to speak on the next few days. And he was saying, I wish somebody would make a whole presentation. And Krishna Kun was telling me, oh, Maharaj said this, we should do this thing. So this is chapter 3 of the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam. We'll be speaking from text 21 to 31. And these verses, very wonderful verses, speak about, it's an answer, to give some background behind it, to a question that Maharaj Nimi asked the Navayogendras. And this is kind of a story inside of a story. Because what happened one day in Dwarka, Vasudeva, the father of Vasudeva Krishna, was sitting there, and the great sage and rishi Narad Muni came to that place. And Vasudeva began to inquire from Narad Muni after washing his feet and giving him very respectful reception. He asked him 4 different questions, one of which was, how can we become free from material existence? And so then the Navayogendras, who are the sons of Lord Rishabdev, they began to explain to him the subject matter. And in these 10 verses that we'll be reading from, we'll hear something about the qualities and behavior of a disciple. So at the outset, I'd also like to say that I'm focusing on these things with hopes that I can actually become what we're reading. It'll be some help for myself. So the first verse that we're reading today, I'd like to try to read 2 verses, text 21 and 22. Text 21 is a very important verse. It lays the foundation for the rest of our discussions. And each sloka has 2 lines. This sloka, the first line, speaks about the qualities of a disciple. And the second line speaks about the qualities of a guru. If we speak about disciple, we also have to say something about guru. So this is text 21 of this 3rd chapter. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jignasu shreya uttamam shabde parichanishnatam brahmanupasamashreyam. Therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek out a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. The qualification of the bona fide guru is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. So 2 subjects are in this verse: the qualities of a bona fide disciple and the qualities of a bona fide guru. The disciple is any person who seriously desires real happiness. That's his first qualification. His second qualification is he must seek out a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. And the qualification of the bona fide guru is that he's realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Lord, leaving aside all material considerations, are understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. So I'm going to read a little something from a number of different places. It's a very long BBT purport. I'm going to read just a little something from that, and then some other things from Srila Prabhupada, and then we'd like to read some of the Sanskrit from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on this verse, as well as Jiva Goswami's commentary from the Sandarbhas. In the BBT purport, they quote Srila Sridhar Swami from his Bhavarta Dipika commentary, which he wrote in Orissa, by the way, very famous Orissan person. He was born not very far away from Remuna, in a small Brahmin village there. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, the word sabde refers to the Vedic literature, and pade refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The bona fide spiritual master must be nishnatam, deeply experienced in authorized Vedic literatures and in practical understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without scriptural knowledge and practical realization of the personality of Godhead, a so-called guru will be unable to dissipate the doubts of his disciples and therefore unable to execute the function of bringing the sincere student back home, back to Godhead. The symptom of realized understanding of the Vedas and Krishna is upasamashrayam. In other words, the bona fide spiritual master is one who is retired from the glittering illusions of materialistic society, friendship, and love. So, he's speaking something here about the qualities of a bona fide guru. Maybe I'll just jump down and read something. They're paraphrasing Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Sa'artha Darshini commentary, in which he says, I'll read you the Sanskrit, it's very purifying to hear it. Ata purva prokta bhakta eva sangsara tarini saiva vivriyate shin ityaha tasmad iti shabde brahmanti vede veda tat parja gyapake shashantare cha nishnatam nipunam anyata sishasya sangsaya chedabhave vaimanasye cha sati kasyachit shraddha saitilyam api sambhavet pari brahmani cha nishnatam aparokshanabhava samartam anyata tatkripa samyak phalavati nasyat. He says that if the spiritual master is not fully absorbed in spiritual sound, sabde brahmani vedi, he's not completely absorbed, he's not realized in spiritual sound, if he's not sufficiently versed, it says, gyapake shastrantare nishnatam nipunam, doesn't know Shastra properly, and he's not sufficiently skilled in explaining the inner meanings, then anyata sishya sangsaya, sangsaya means a doubt. The doubts of the disciple won't be dissipated. He won't be able to drive away those doubts. And the disciple will thus, he says, become dejected and suffer assuredly a loss of faith if the guru is not capable of direct spiritual perception. And very significant phrase he uses, aparokshanabhava, samartam. This aparokshanabhava is the same exact word used by Srila Sridhar Swami in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita when he speaks about tadvidi paripatena pariprashnena seva upadekshanti teganam gyaninas tattvadarshina. When he defines what is a tattvadarshi, he says it's someone who's aparokshanabhava sampana. Similar phrase, here it says samartam, he says sampana. It means someone who can directly perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says if the guru is not able to do that, then the disciple will become dejected and he'll have some loss of faith. And whatever mercy he bestows won't properly fructify. In Bhakti Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami also says some similar things in this verse. Sabde brahmani vede tatparya vicharane nishnatam tataiva nishtam praptam pari brahmani bhagavaradi upavibhaves tu aparokshanabhavena. Again, he uses the same phrase, aparokshanabhava. One, he says that guru is someone who's expert in explaining the purport of the Vedas, which are Sabda Brahma, meaning they're heard directly. Guru is someone who has direct experience of Para Brahma, Sri Krishna, and is devoid of all material expectations and requirements. That person should be accepted as a genuine spiritual master. One should take shelter of such a guru through the process of hearing in order to know the truth regarding sadhana, the means, and sajja, the goal. So there's another interesting description about the qualification of guru given by Srila Prabhupada in his purport in Madhya Lila chapter 24 of Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is a discussion between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami. And Mahaprabhu is instructing Sanatana Goswami that you should write a book. And later that book became Hari Bhakti Vilas. And so I can sing this. Maybe you can chant Hare Krishna in response. This is text number 330. Guru Lakshana, Sishya Lakshana, Donhara Parikshana, Savior Bhagavan, Sarva Mantra Vicharan. Bolo, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada translates this, that he says your book should describe the characteristics of a bona fide guru and a bona fide disciple. Therefore, before accepting a spiritual master, one can be assured of the spiritual master's position. Sometimes devotees, they complain in ISKCON. They say, oh, I came to your society and I got a fall-down guru. I was cheated. Very, very bad. I want my money back. Someone complains like this. But it's a bit immature. It would be like someone coming and complaining to the temple president, why did you give me the wife you gave me? She's always complaining to me and always wanting to spend my money. You're a nonsense. Why did you? It's not his fault. I'm the one who married her. You can't blame Shankar Prabhu for everything. Well, it's not fair. We have to take responsibility for our own lives. This is a Krishna consciousness movement. But if you study sociology, you'll see there's a certain nature of conversion, religious conversion, when people leave their native culture, which pretty much everybody here in this room has done, and come to a foreign culture, which is Krishna consciousness, then the nature of such persons is oftentimes they become fanatics. Because now that they don't know the new culture, they don't know the philosophy, they don't know the traditions very well, and to make up for that, to be accepted in the society, they have to work real hard and be very, very fanatical. And another symptom is that they tend to lose their own personal identity to be accepted by everybody else. They don't know how to be an individual and also be a member of this new group. That's a symptom all over the world. With people who join a new religious movement and change in some big way their social background. So they don't understand the new system that they're coming to, and they tend to act in a bit of a fanatical way. So in ISKCON, we can't, there's no good housekeeping seal of approval that we can offer that such and such guru is the bona fide guru, although some people may tell you, my guru or his guru, this one is the bona fide one. But no one can promise that any more than someone can promise you a bona fide wife. This is our responsibility as individuals. The society can educate us. And this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's point in this purport. We should become educated. We should understand what is a bona fide guru, what is a bona fide disciple. This is the point being made also in this verse from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before you accept a guru, you should understand what is a bona fide guru. For so many people who joined in the late 70s, shortly after Prabhupada left, or the early 80s, it was whoever the local guru was. And we knew that he was bona fide because everybody else said he was bona fide, so he must be bona fide, right? And they gave him the garlands and he had a big Vyasa son. And people who accepted initiation in a very quick, cheap way like that, many of them suffered. And sometimes they feel sulky about that. There's a certain kind of syndrome with people who've been victims of something. And many people, they blame society, they blame other people because I was a victim, it's your fault. But psychiatrists have just said that you're not going to overcome that problem that you've had in your life until you accept in a sober way that I also had something to do with it. No one forced me to take initiation from him. No one forced me to marry this guy, even though he's a creep or whatever. No one forced me to do that. It was my fault. I'm the one who accepted that thing. So I have to take responsibility. And this is the version of Lord Brahma in the 14th chapter, the 10th canto. He famously says, Tatenu kampam susamikshramano bunjana eva mikritam vipakam. that our spiritual life begins when we take responsibility. When we stop blaming everyone else for everything else that's happened, and we become very sober and realize I have to look in a very serious way. So this is a qualification of a disciple. Is a Hindi saying that Guru mili laki laki sishya mili ek. It's not so hard to find a bona fide guru. Some people say, oh, very, very hard to find a bona fide guru. We've had so many problem gurus. It's not hard to find a bona fide guru. There's so many, many bona fide gurus. What's very hard is to find even one bona fide disciple. And if someone's a bona fide disciple, they'll attract a bona fide guru. A bona fide disciple is someone who wants to have guru. Who's called Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta, Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. He wants to approach Guru. He wants to approach Guru for the right reason. Not just because I'm sick and tired of being called Bhakta Mark. Bhakta Mark, Bhakta Mark. I want a spiritual name. So people will give respect to me. And then later on, I don't know what you call it in Hindi, but in Oriya we call this a paita, a Brahmin thread. And then I'm really a high-class devotee. And they'll give more respect to me. Nowadays, people don't respect it very much, but it used to be. 20, 30 years ago, it was a big thing if you had Brahmin initiation. People take initiation for that reason, or because they just want to have a friend. And Maharaj is really sweet and nice, or they want to have someone pay attention to them. Or maybe they want someone who's going to solve their problems. Because Maharaj, my wife left me, and my previous wife left me. Actually, my previous 4 wives all left me. And life's really tough, and you please solve my problem. Give me some counseling. And people come to sadhu for that reason. And this is one reason why traditionally many sadhus, they hide themselves. And many sadhus, they don't go and preach. They retire some because so many nonsense people come to disturb them with so many materialistic desires. Because they're not bona fide disciples. Because Shabde Parita Nishnatam, Brahmanupasama, they're not approaching Guru, Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta, Jignasu Shreya Uttam. They're not approaching for Shreya Uttam, the topmost thing. They want to know something else. Sometimes they want to know, Maharaj, how can I take sannyas? And how can I get disciples? Could you advise me how I can become a GBC so I can think about my career in ISKCON? Sometimes people, they approach sadhus with that kind of motivation. Sometimes the sadhu will say, yes, yes, you should go to ILS and take some courses and do this, and then your course will be very good. My Guru Maharaj, he called that vanchana. He said sadhu has 2 things, kripa and vanchana. And Vrindavan Das Thakur gives the example of Ravan. Ravan was worshipping Lord Shiva. Don't think it's bad to worship Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the head of the Rudra Sampradaya, a Vaishnava Sampradaya. He's not a small-time person. Ravan worshipped him, but he got vanchana. He got cheating from Lord Shiva. That all he got was a golden palace. He got a golden city in Lanka. But he could have gotten Ram Bhakti. But because he was approaching with the wrong mood, he wasn't approaching with this attitude, Jignasu Shreya Uttamam, trying to understand what is the topmost good for myself. He just wanted some wealth and something else. And so then Lord Shiva said, yes, yes, you can have that. The Sunday feast yesterday, Naranjan Maharaj was speaking about Chitraketu. And also Narad Muni came to him and said, you look really unhappy, what do you want? I want a son. Please give me a son. Yes, yes, you can have a son. I bless you. But that son, he'll bring you lots of happiness and lots of unhappiness also. And that's vanchana. But the vanchana, the cheating of a sadhu, is actually also mercy. In the case of Chitraketu Maharaj, he realized, oh, this is not what I really want. And what I really want is the blessings of the Supreme Lord. I want to see Krishna. And so later he took initiation from Narad Muni and said in 1 week he was able to see the Lord. He received his mantra, he chanted his mantra in 1 week. He was so sincere, he was able to see the Lord. So this verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu was telling Sanatana Goswami that you should write in your book the characteristics of a bona fide guru and a bona fide disciple. Then before accepting a guru, a spiritual master, one can be assured of the spiritual master's position. Similarly, the spiritual master can also be assured of the disciple's position. There's a vetting process that goes on between both of them. And he goes on with some other things. Prabhupada in his purport, he says, in the Padma Purana, the characteristics of the Guru, the bona fide spiritual master, have been described. Mahabhagavata Shreshto Brahmano Vaiguru Ninam Sarveshamiva Lokanam Aso Puja Yatahari Mahakula Pasutopi Sarva Yageshu Dikshita Sahasra Sakya Dadyai Chana Guru Shat Vaishnava. The Guru must be situated on the topmost platform of devotional service. There are 3 classes of devotees, and the Guru must be accepted from the topmost class. Must be accepted from the topmost class. The first class devotee is the spiritual master for all kinds of people. It is said, Guru Nrinam. The word Nrinam means of all human beings. The Guru is not limited to a particular group. It is stated in the Upadeshamrita of Rupa Goswami that a Guru is a Goswami, a controller of the senses and the mind. Such a Guru can accept disciples from all over the world. Pritivim sasishyat. This is the test of the Guru. And a little later in the purport, Srila Prabhupada gives a very interesting explanation of what that Mahabhagavat Guru is. But I'm going to first, I'd like to read you something else from Srila Prabhupada also, from a lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave. Let's see. Here it is. This is a lecture Prabhupada gave in 1972 in Nectar Devotion in Vrindavan. Prabhupada said some very strong things. Please listen. He said, Vaidhi Bhakti is apprenticeship. Real Bhakti, Para Bhakti, that is Raganuga Bhakti. This Raganuga Bhakti we have to come to after surpassing Vaidhi Bhakti. He said, therefore, if we do not associate with advanced devotees, Uttama Adhikari, if we simply want to remain in the lowest stage of devotional service, then we're not making any progress. Then we shall simply enjoy the material world without entering into the spiritual platform. So we should associate, we should want Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. We should be sincere in our desire. Why do we want Guru for? Maharaj, I really like you because just like once I was giving a lecture in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, in someone's house, and the lady of the house, before we began the talk, before anyone came, she was speaking with me and she said, you know, I want to take initiation. I said, that's very good, Mataji. She said, do you know who I want to take initiation from? I said, no. And she said, such and such Maharaj. I said, that's very good. He's a very nice Vaishnava. She said, do you know why I want to take initiation from him? I said, no, Mataji, I don't know. She said, because he's very good with children. Yeah, she has 3 children, so she wanted a guru who's very good with children. I didn't say anything to discourage her, but I thought to myself, if you want a guru who's good with children, what are you bothering taking initiation for? It's going to be very troublesome for you. You could just go to the kindergarten class and find some teacher who's a professional, who's very good with children, and just accept that person as your guru. Why go to all the trouble? Take initiation from someone, make 4 vows and 16 rounds, and maybe he's going to tell you something you don't want to do. It's very, very troublesome. So this is our first test. What do we want? And if we really want Krishna, then Krishna will come. So we should want a topmost Vaishnava. Not just that Maharaj, please give me initiation. I don't have any faith in you, but please give me initiation. It's like someone coming to some lady and telling her, sweetheart, would you marry me? I think you're as ugly as a dog, but would you marry me? I don't like you at all, but would you marry me? Huh? Is that a very good romantic marriage proposal? It won't work, but we do the same kind of thing when we approach some sadhu asking them for initiation if we don't really have faith in them. What's the value? It has no meaning. Just like someone asking a girl to marry them that he has no feelings for and is not attracted by. It has no meaning in that relationship. So we should approach someone that we have faith in. Shushushoshadanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi. Shyamahat Seva Vipra Punyatirthana Sevana. I'm thinking the wrong verse. Anyway, the most important qualification for a disciple is they should have faith, firm faith in the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Prabhupada writes in his purport, I wanted to read to you, he defines what a Mahabhagavat is. And this is a very controversial thing sometimes in ISKCON. But the point I'm about to make is that you can look at it from different perspectives. Here's one perspective. This is the Mahabhagavat. The Mahabhagavat is one who decorates his body with tilak, and whose name indicates him to be a servant of Krishna by the word das. That's the Mahabhagavat. He wears tilak and he has initiation. He's also initiated by a bona fide spiritual master and is expert in worshiping the deity, chanting mantras correctly, performing sacrifices, offering prayers to the Lord, and performing Sankirtan. He knows how to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how to respect a Vaishnav. Very important. When one has attained the topmost position of Mahabhagavat, he is to be accepted as a guru and worship exactly like Hari, the personality of Godhead. Only such a person is eligible to occupy the post of guru. However, if one is highly qualified but is not a Vaishnav, he cannot be accepted as a guru. One cannot be a Brahmin unless one is a Vaishnav. If one is a Vaishnav, he's already a Brahmin. If a guru is completely qualified as a Vaishnav, he must be accepted as a Brahmin even if he's not born in a Brahmin family. The caste method of distinguishing a Brahmin by birth is not acceptable when applied to a bona fide spiritual master. A spiritual master is a qualified Brahmin and Acharya. If one is not a qualified Brahmin, if he is not expert in studying the Vedic literatures, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno. If one is not a qualified Brahmin, then he is not expert in studying the Vedic literatures, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno. Every Vaishnav is a spiritual master. And a spiritual master is automatically expert in Brahminical behavior. He also understands the Vedic Shastras. How do we find Guru? This is the first principle that we are going to have to speak about. If we're going to speak about what is a bona fide disciple, just as you can't have a wife, you can't have a class and speak about what is a bona fide wife if she's not married. It has no meaning. So how can someone be a bona fide disciple unless they've taken initiation, unless they find Guru? So the first question is, how do we find Guru? And I'll read you something that I was just reading a few days ago in Toronto. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta wrote this in an article in 1929 in a Harmonist magazine. He said, at the dawn of our spiritual life, that means at the very beginning. This is the beginning of our spiritual life. What is the beginning of our spiritual life? We have sincerity. That's the beginning of our spiritual life. We sincerely and with complete submission and self-surrender pray to God for receiving the protection of Sadguru. That's the beginning of our spiritual life. When we pray to Krishna to send us his representative, a bona fide guru, with these qualities of complete submission, sincerity, and self-surrender. The Supreme Lord, perceiving our earnestness and devotion, Krishna's in our heart, and he sees, what do they want? Do they want someone who's an old Indian man with a long beard who looks really good? They want someone who's very handsome and plays nice guitar? Or do they want someone who has Krishna? What do we want? Krishna knows what we want. So Krishna, perceiving our earnestness and devotion with a view to guide us on the true path, will send a real guru to us. Otherwise, it's impossible for us to find Sadguru by our own fallible energy. It is impossible for us to find Sadguru by our own fallible energy. It's impossible. You may ask Shankar Prabhu, please, can you give me a list of all the names of the gurus in ISKCON so I can figure out who I take initiation with? Maybe some pictures also, so I can look them over. That's not how we find Guru. Guru is Krishna's representative. Sometimes people, they debate so much about qualification of Guru, or the gender of Guru, or nationality of Guru, or this or that. But all of that, to me, is just a waste of discussion. The real thing is Krishna sends Guru. We should depend on Krishna. It's not that the GBC sends Guru, or Shankar Prabhu sends Guru. Krishna sends Guru. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta says, otherwise it is impossible for us to find Sadguru by our own fallible energy. If we guide ourselves by our own energy, we'll come across the pseudo-gurus, the false gurus, and being caught hold of them by their temporary pleasing manners. Because the false guru, their nature is they want to flatter you so that you'll give them money, so that you'll become their follower. Being caught hold of them by their temporary pleasing manners will run down to hell. This is the version of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Prabhupada said a similar thing in a room conversation he had in Rome, in Italy, in the 23rd of May, 1974, with the Irish poet Desmond O'Grady. And Mr. O'Grady was asking about Guru. And Srila Prabhupada told him the best friend is a spiritual master because he saves one from the blazing fire of confusion. Mr. O'Grady said, but the problem is, how do you find a spiritual master? Prabhupada said, no, there's no problem. Beautiful statement. No, there's no problem. The problem is, only problem is one thing, if you're sincere. You've got problems, but God is within your heart. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hrideshya arjuna tishtati. God is not far away. God is within your heart. If you are sincere, then God will give you a spiritual master. Therefore, God is called Chaitya Guru, the spiritual master within the heart. And the physical spiritual master is God's mercy. If God sees that you are sincere, He will give you a guru who can give you protection. And He'll help you from within and without. From the outside, in the physical form of the spiritual master, and within is the spiritual master within the heart. This is a version of Krishna consciousness, and this is the difference between Krishna consciousness and different forms of Hinduism, or different forms of mechanical process of religion, where somebody asks, well, I've been a devotee now for 1 year, I'm doing 16 of these and 4 of these, so when can I get initiated? Asking in a mechanical, social kind of way, wanting to get initiated in an ecclesiastical way, inside of the mission of the institution. They're thinking like that. And they'll get something, and that's okay. It's for their benefit. But that's not what we're really here for. Tasmat Guru Prapadyaya Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. They're not asking Shreya Uttamam, what is the topmost thing. They're not wanting that. And they're not looking for the topmost guru. They're not looking for someone who has faith. They just want someone who will give them initiation so they can be accepted in a social way within the society. And this is going on today. Rabindranath Swarup Prabhu made a very interesting comment I heard in one lecture. He said that, what is the difference between ISKCON today and ISKCON during the time of Srila Prabhupada? It's a topic we've heard many devotees discuss. And he said that he felt that during the time of Srila Prabhupada, it was a Madhyam society. But today it's largely, sadly, a Kanishta society. And why the difference? Because during the time of Srila Prabhupada, devotees had faith in Guru. Everyone really had faith in Guru. But today, anyway, my Guru, he's okay, but I've got Srila Prabhupada. We say like that. And my Guru doesn't have to be so good. Sometimes we say that, anyway, my Guru, maybe he's not so, but he can give me Srila Prabhupada. My Guru Maharaj responded to that. He said, Are Baba, where is Srila Prabhupada? Do you think it's such a cheap thing to give Srila Prabhupada? Prabhupada's with Krishna. So to have someone who actually has Srila Prabhupada, that's a wonderful thing. We should have strong faith in Guru. If you want to make a building, maybe you want to build a huge skyscraper building in downtown Ottawa, 3 things basically are required. You need to have sand, and you need to have concrete. And of the two, you may have very good quality sand, you may have very good quality concrete. The sand is like a disciple. You may have very fine sand with no big stones or contaminated things in it. It's a very good disciple. You may have very good cement, very good guru. But if you don't have the third ingredient, which seems very innocuous, very common, then you're not going to be able to make a building. And what is that third ingredient? Water. The third ingredient is faith. We may know so many verses, we may be so austere and so devoted to our devotional practices. We may have a guru who knows so many verses himself and is very learned in so many ways. But if we don't have faith in him, then what's the value of that? So when we accept a spiritual master, the Sarup Lakshana of a Sat Sishya, of a bona fide disciple, is faith in Guru. Prabhupada writes in this purport in Madhya Lila we were just reading, he said, similarly, a disciple's qualifications must be observed by the spiritual master before he is accepted as a disciple. In our Krishna conscious movement, the requirement is that one must be prepared to give up the 4 pillars of sinful life: illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. Now this is interesting as a little footnote. Not all of our Gaudiya Acharyas emphasize this. Srila Prabhupada was the first one to put these 4 things in perspective. So sometimes devotees, they think, well, these aren't so important. But Srila Prabhupada stressed them so much, and here he describes them as the 4 pillars of sinful life. Why did Srila Prabhupada emphasize these 4 things? Is it because he really wanted to have vegetarians as disciples, or people who are celibate? I don't think those things in one sense are so important as much as another underlying principle. These are the 4 pillars of sinful life. If someone gives these things up, it means they're giving up material life. And this is Srila Prabhupada's simple way of vetting a disciple. If you can't even begin to follow 4 regulated principles, how are you going to be a disciple? What kind of sincerity do you have? We prove our sincerity by giving up material life. Sabde paritranishnatam cha brahmanupasamasyam. We approach someone who knows Shastra. We should show our sincerity by our desire. So Srila Prabhupada goes on, he says, in Western countries especially, these 4 things are very prominent. We first observe whether a potential disciple is prepared to follow the regulated principles. Then he is given the name of a Vaishnava servant and initiated to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra at least 16 rounds daily. In this way, the disciple renders devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master or his representative for at least 6 months to a year. He's then recommended for a second initiation, during which a sacred thread is offered and the disciple is accepted as a bona fide Brahmin. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur introduced the system of giving the sacred thread to a bona fide Vaishnava. Prior to the time of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, it wasn't done. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you may see in some of his paintings, he has no Brahmin thread. He didn't get that from Jagannath Das Babaji or from Bipin Bihari Goswami. And that wasn't the tradition for persons who weren't born in a Brahmin family. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta introduced that system to show that the Vaishnavas are automatically Brahmins. Prabhupada says, the qualifications of a bona fide disciple are described in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.10.6 as follows. Amanya matsaro daksho nirmamo drida sorida asatvaro rita jignasur anasuyur amogavak. The disciple must have the following qualifications. He must give up interest in the material bodily conception. This is a bona fide disciple. He must have these qualifications. If we don't have these kind of qualifications in our society, then what's going to happen to our society? It's going to become like another mundane religion, where people just come and do something externally for some time, and then they get some initiation in a social, institutional kind of way. So they must have the following qualifications. First of all, he must give up interest in the material bodily conception. He must give up material lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness, and envy. He should be interested only in understanding the science of God, and he should be ready to consider all points in this matter. He should no longer think, I'm this body, or this thing belongs to me. These are pretty heavy qualifications for a disciple. One must love the spiritual master with unflinching faith, and one must be very steady and fixed. The bona fide disciple should be inquisitive to understand transcendental subject matter. This is a bona fide disciple. He must not search out faults among good qualities. And he should no longer be interested in material topics. His only interest should be Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada sometimes told some devotees that, anyway, we're like works in progress. It's not that we're necessarily to the standard, but we should know what the standard is. And we should know, we should not become discouraged if we think that the standard is just that you do 16 of these things while you're reading a book and watching television, chanting 16 rounds, and you're just doing something in a mechanical way so that I get initiated. But then you get initiated and you go on for 2, 3, 4 years and you think, what's happening? Chitraketu Maharaj saw the Lord in 1 week after chanting the mantra that he got from Guru. I've been chanting for 3, 4 years. Oh, my Guru must not be bona fide. Some devotees, they come to that conclusion. If we don't understand what are the qualities of a bona fide disciple, then how can we expect that we're going to get the fruit from this mantra, from our initiation? We should understand these things. This is a very, very important subject matter. As far as a mutual testing of the spiritual master and disciple is concerned, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that a bona fide disciple must be very inquisitive to understand the transcendental subject matter, as stated, where? In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21, our verse today. Tasmad gurum prapadyeta jignasu shreya uttamam. One who is inquisitive to understand the highest goal and benefit of life must approach a bona fide spiritual master and surrender unto him. A serious disciple must be alert when selecting a bona fide spiritual master. He must be sure that the spiritual master can deliver all the transcendental necessities. I'll read that again. He must be sure. Prabhupada doesn't say he must know, because you don't know. We can't see. It's said by Jagadananda Pandit, the Vaishnava chinite nai deveda shakati. Even the demigods, they can't recognize who's a pure devotee and who's not a pure devotee. Prabhupada, he says a Mahabhagavat is someone who wears tilak, has a transcendental name, is initiated, is engaged in Sankirtan. That's a pure devotee. That's a Mahabhagavat, and that's a bona fide guru. We can't recognize who a bona fide guru is with our senses. We can see if someone is initiated, they're wearing tilak, they should do that. They should know Shastra, they should know how to engage in sacrifice, but how do I know that he's the real deal? We can't say. All that we can do is depend on Krishna. And Krishna will reveal. This is the process of finding Guru. And when we make things into a mechanical process, an ecclesiastical, institutional practice, then if we take shelter of that, it's not going to be the same. Srila Prabhupada came to give us Krishna, not to teach us to take shelter of the institution. It's a very strong thing to say in some ways, because we want to support this institution. But why do we support the institution? The institution is like a wonderful box which carries a gift, the gift of Krishna Bhakti inside of it. But if you get the box and you don't open it up, and you just say, wow, it's such a nice box. I really like the box. Did you see what the box I got? It's such a cool box. And we don't open up the box to get what's inside of it. What's the value? What we want is Krishna consciousness. Achyutananda Prabhu, Prabhupada's early disciple, you can see, I was watching one of the Prabhupada memory videos. He was recalling when Srila Prabhupada, the momentous occasion when Prabhupada signed the legal papers inaugurating ISKCON as a legal entity. And suddenly Prabhupada turned to the devotees, very momentous occasion, and all of a sudden Prabhupada said, actually we don't need this. We don't need this legal society ISKCON. We can just sit under a tree and chant Hare Krishna. He said, but who will come? If Prabhuji goes to the park and you chant Hare Krishna, who's going to come? But when we have a temple and there's prasadam and there's deities, so many people will come then. And this is the purpose of this institution. The purpose of the institution is to give us Krishna Bhakti. But if we don't get the Krishna Bhakti and we just become good servants of the institution, good servants of the box, what's the value of that? And therefore Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says there's two types of persons. Bahirmukh janas and antarmukh janas. There's two types of disciples. Bahirmukh sishyas and antarmukh sishyas. Internal disciples and external disciples. Internal persons and external persons. External persons just see rituals and ceremonies and becoming a member of something. And that's okay if you're fortunate enough to come in contact with this society. Because if you come to this society, then we're going to engage you in chanting Hare Krishna. We're going to engage you in giving donations to the temple and worshiping the deity, taking prasadam. And you may do those things in a mechanical way, but that's okay because those things are very, very powerful angas of bhakti. But our spiritual life begins when we become very, very inquisitive, when we want Krishna, not just the box that Krishna's coming in. So, Prabhupada says, a serious disciple must be alert when selecting a bona fide spiritual master. He must be sure that the spiritual master, he must be sure, this is my point, you can't tell, but he should have faith. This is a disciple's qualification. There's one story I read in some Upanishads, that there was once one village, and in the village there was a prostitute and a sadhu. There's many stories in Vedic culture of villages with a prostitute and a sadhu. This is one such story. And this prostitute was always thinking of the sadhu. And she was thinking, I'm so dirty, I'm so contaminated, I had such a terrible occupation. And this Maharaj, this sadhu, he's so wonderful. I wish I could take shelter of him. And by meditating on that sadhu's good quality, she became purified. And she had the desire, I want to know, I want Krishna, I want the absolute truth. Tasmad Gurum Prapadye Tad Jignasu Shreya Uttam. She became serious and she went to him. Maharaj, please give me initiation. Now the sadhu, I'm not really sure by the story if he was really qualified or not. It's a little hard to say. But in any case, he looked at her and he thought, nasty person. I can't accept her as my disciple. But she was very sincere and approached, Maharaj, please, please. So he thought for when he said, okay, I'm going to give you a very special mantra. Here's the mantra. Dinky dinky. That's the mantra. Dinky. Dinky is like a mortar and pestle. She said, what is this? And she thought, oh, Dinky must be a name for Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. She cried and she got her mantra, Dinky Dinky, which is just a nonsense thing. It doesn't have any meaning. It's not a transcendental name or anything. He just gave her that to make her go away. But she took it in a different way because she had faith in Guru. And sometime later in the story, there was a great flood and that sadhu had to take shelter of a tree. He was up in the branches of a tree, and everything was flooded all around his ashram. And then suddenly from a distance, he started hearing a sound. And the sound was getting louder and louder and coming closer and closer. And what was the sound? Dinky, 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 dinky. And he looked, and he saw the prostitute sitting on a log, and she was in samadhi. She wasn't even aware that the flood was there. She was thinking of Krishna. And she was crying, chanting this mantra. My Gurudev gave me this mantra. He's so kind. Dinky, 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 dinky. Because she had that quality of faith in Guru. That was her qualification. So we can't see Guru, but Prabhupada says he must be sure, the disciple must be sure that the spiritual master can deliver all the transcendental necessities. Otherwise, why do you approach him? Narendra Maharaj, I think you were telling us the story of Jayadvaita Maharaj in Moscow before. That someone approached Jayadvaita Maharaj and said, Maharaj, please accept me as your disciple. And Jayadvaita Maharaj said, I'm not qualified. And the devotee said, Maharaj, it's okay. I'm also not qualified as a disciple. So you should accept me. So we don't need these kind of relationships in our society. And sometimes people who are not qualified as a disciple, they're not really sincere. They don't really want spiritual life. They don't want that guru because he may chastise me. He may get on my case. He may tell me to do something that I don't want to do. So I don't want to take initiation from him. I'll take this other Maharaj over here. He's very kind and gentle, and he'll help me in my material life. Because really the most important thing is my material life. This is not a bona fide disciple. This is not tasmad gurum prapadyeta jignasu shreya uttamam. Prabhupada said, he must be sure the spiritual master can deliver all the transcendental necessities. The spiritual master must observe how inquisitive the disciple is and how eager he is to understand the transcendental subject matter. The spiritual master should study the disciple's inquisitiveness for no less than 6 months or a year. A spiritual master should not be very anxious to accept a disciple because of his material opulences. Sometimes a big businessman or landlord may approach a spiritual master for initiation. But a bona fide spiritual master shouldn't accept someone just on that basis. Rather, we should learn the science of approaching Guru. So many people, they want to speak about Guru Tattva. What is Guru? Guru should be like this. Guru should be like that. And I've compiled all these different quotes. But what is your character like? What is the quality of your search like? What is the quality of your faith in Krishna? And if you have strong faith in Krishna, you don't have to worry about finding a guru. Krishna wants to give you a guru. Krishna's in your heart. It's Chaitya Guru. He wants you to come to him. But he's just waiting to see, and he's testing our sincerity. And as soon as we're sincere enough, we turn our faith to Krishna, and we start face to Krishna, and we start crying, Krishna, please help me. Give me Guru. Then Krishna will send. Our attitude shouldn't be that I'll go to Mayapur and I'll take Bhakti Shastri. And Maharaj, you'll be very lucky if you accept me as a disciple. I was the best student in Bhakti Shastri. And not only that, I'm very wealthy, I'm very educated, I'm also very handsome and very humble. And you'll be very lucky if you get me as a disciple. This was not the way we approach Guru. Srila Sanatana Goswami, when he approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he taught us how to approach Guru. And who is Sanatana Goswami? He's a prime minister under Nawab Hussain Shah, the king of West Bengal, the ruler of West Bengal. And Sanatana Goswami was a very, very big man, a very, very educated person. He knew Farsi, he knew Sanskrit, he knew Bengali, so many languages, so learned in Shastra, very, very wealthy, very handsome, very aristocratic. And how did he approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Kayami kene amai jare tapatroy iha nahi jane kemane hita hoy bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram He approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he said, Kayami, I don't know who I am. This is how we approach Guru. We approach Guru in the same way that the gopis approached Krishna during Vastraharna Leela. Krishna stole their clothes. And some lusty people say, oh, it's some kind of erotic pastime. But it's not. It has a purport to it. If you want to approach Krishna, if we want to approach Guru, we come before them naked, without all of our upadis. All the upadis that we go to the department store and we buy our designations. Upadi means a designation. We buy our designations off the rack in the form of our different clothes, our different ways to present ourselves. I'm a businessman. I'm a good cook. I'm a housewife. I'm an Indian. I'm a Canadian. I'm French. I'm American. I'm wealthy. I'm poor. I'm educated. I'm this. I'm that. We give up all those things when we really approach Guru. Because if we go with those things, if we carry those upadis with us, it means we don't really want Guru. We don't want a spiritual master. We want a material master. Someone who's going to give us something material. So the first qualification is we approach him, Kayami, I don't know who I am. Forget about all my past, forget about my education, my so-called aristocracy and everything. am I jari tapatrai? Why am I suffering? I don't understand this thing. Huh? Please, why are these material miseries always giving me trouble? If I don't know, how can I be benefited? Sajya sadhana tattva puchete najani kripa kori sava tattva kaha na tapani. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And Sanatana Goswami, he told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said that actually, I don't know how to inquire about the goal of life, and the process for obtaining it. So being merciful upon me, you please explain all those benefits to me. In other words, I don't even know what to ask for. I'm so bad. This is my position as a disciple. This is our qualification. As my Guru Maharaj used to sometimes say, your only qualification is your disqualification. Prita Maharaj, he prays to Vishnu in the 4th canto of the Bhagavatam. Ita churid balam hitam pita swayam tata tvamevarasi nasamahitam. Oh my Lord, just as a father does whatever is best for his child, in the same way you give whatever is best to me, because I don't know. This is how we approach Guru. Not that we approach Guru in a very nice, oh Maharaj, please, please, give me initiation. And then after we get initiation, we start giving orders to the Guru. Guru Maharaj, I think it would be good if I did this. You should tell me to do this thing. And we start dictating to Guru. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, then such a person, he's no longer Guru, you've made him Guru. You've made him a cow. He's become your servant. That's not Guru. Never mind all the institutional politics about this subject and all the controversies and this and that. This is something that has to do with me. And this is a problem that we can all solve. There is no problem, as Prabhupada told Desmond O'Grady. The only problem is with you, with your sincerity. If we cry out to Krishna, Krishna will send us Guru. And what should our attitude to Guru be? I'm going to read the next verse. Bhagavatam, it's 11.3.22. Tatya bhagavatam dharmam sikshad guratma daivata amaya yanuritya yais tushad atmatmano dohari. Accepting the bona fide spiritual master as one life and soul and worshipable deity, the disciple should learn from him the process of pure devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, the soul of all souls, is inclined to give himself to his pure devotees. Therefore, the disciple should learn from the spiritual master to serve the Lord without duplicity, and in such a faithful and favorable way that the Supreme Lord, being satisfied, will offer himself to the faithful disciple. Krishna becomes so pleased when he sees that someone is worshipping Guru. Krishna becomes so very, very pleased by this. But as described here, what is the qualification of that disciple? He should accept Gurudev, Guru Atma Daivata. Srila Prabhupada, he was asked by the devotee, Prabhupada told the devotees in 26 Second Avenue, tomorrow we're going to have an initiation ceremony. And you can become initiated. And the devotee said, what does it mean to be initiated? And Prabhupada said, it means that you accept the Guru as God. But wait a minute, they had a little meeting amongst the devotees. But Prabhupada always told us that a human being can't be God, and the Guru is not God, but what does it mean, accept him like God? Finally, someone had the good intelligence to go and ask Srila Prabhupada, what do you mean by this? And Prabhupada was happy. Good, you're asking this question. It means that you should accept that Gurudev Sakshat Daritvain, he's a representative of Krishna. Krishna has sent Gurudev to me, and I see Krishna in Gurudev. And this is an all-important principle for the disciple. I know our time's getting a little late. I don't want to go too much longer, but I'd like to read you something very powerful, and I have a story I'd like to try to tell you. This is from 7th canto of the Bhagavatam. Narad Muni tells Yudhishthira, chapter 15, text 26, Yasha Sakshad Bhagavati, Jnanadeepa Prade Guru, Martyasadi sutam tasya sarvam kunjara sochavat. The Guru should be considered to be directly the Supreme Lord. Directly the Supreme Lord. Why? Because he gives transcendental knowledge for enlightenment. Consequently, for one who maintains a material conception that the Guru is an ordinary human being, everything is frustrated. His enlightenment and his Vedic studies and knowledge are like the bathing of an elephant. Please listen, dear devotees, to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Sarta Darshani commentary. He says, Kim cha satyam, this is the truth. Kim cha satyam, boyashyam api, bhakto guru, manusya buddhidve, sarvam eva vyartam, bhavitya aha yashyeti. Sakshad bhagavatiti bhagavad angsa, buddhir api guru, nakaryeti bhavaha. Yadva upashye bhagavatyeva sakshad vidyamane marcha siddhi marcha itti durbudistasya shutam bhagavan mantradikam shravana mananadikam cha vyartam ityartaha. He says that even if someone performs very, very intense devotional practices for the Lord, all of it's useless. All your devotional practices, you may be chanting 3 lakhs of japa every day. Very intense devotional practice. Going to Mangal Artik every day. Strictly following 4 regulated principles. Worshipping the deities. But all of those activities are useless. You get 0 benefit from them. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. If it's all useless, if you think the Guru is an ordinary person. The words Sakshad Bhagavatiti in the verse clearly indicate that one must think of the Guru as a Supreme Lord himself, and not even as an expansion. It's not that Gurudev is an expansion. No, Gurudev is the Supreme Lord. He's a manifestation of Krishna directly. The Chaitya Guru in my heart is now manifested in a physical form. Krishna has come to me. He's Krishna's representative. It doesn't mean, like some people in India think, that Guru is God. It's not that Guru is God, but he's a representative of God, and he's non-different from Krishna in that sense. And we don't think of him even as an expansion, but we think of him as a manifestation of Krishna himself. He says, alternatively, even if Krishna personally is present as your Guru, that's pretty good. Take initiation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Lord Nityananda. From Sri Krishna himself. But if somehow, even though you've taken initiation from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if you have the demented intelligence that you think he's an ordinary person, then whatever you've heard from him, whatever mantras you've gotten, whatever instructions you've gotten, whatever shastric study you've done, whatever devotional practice you've had, all of that cease to have any effect. And that's the intention of this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. It doesn't mean in another sense that there's absolutely no benefit. You may get some bhakti ummukhi sukriti. But in comparison, that bhakti ummukhi sukriti means you'll get dharma, artha, kama, and maybe moksha. You may get liberation. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that mukti tucha phala hoy, nama bhasa hoite. That liberation, that's nothing. Even chanting Namabhas. If someone's running across the street and they're a butcher and a very, very sinful person, they see Hare Krishna, they start making fun of the devotees. It's Hare Krishna, Hare, and a car comes and runs them over. And the last thing they say is Hare Krishna. What will happen to them? They can get liberation. Mukti tucha phala hoy, namabhasa hoite. It's an insignificant fruit of even Namabhas. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is speaking in this way because he's speaking about bhakti, which is Panchama Purushartha, the 5th and highest goal, compared to which these 4 things are known as Kaitava Chatushtoi, or 4 types of cheating: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and even Moksha. That's Kaitava Chatushtoi. 4 types of cheating, according to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And we don't care for those things. So we should see Gurudev, Guru Atma Daivata. Gurudev, he's my God. He's my worshipable deity. So I know it's getting a little late. I wanted to finish with a story. Because Madhu Yena Samarpayat, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says we should finish with something very, very sweet. In Vrindavan, a few hundred years ago, there was one Vaishnava, famous as a Siddha Mahatma. His name was Nanda Kishore Goswami. It's said that he was a disciple of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he was in charge of Nityananda Vat. Has anybody been to Nityananda Vat in Vrindavan? Also known as Sringara Vat. It's practically right next to the temple of Radha Damodar. And it's a place where Lord Nityananda rested. So it's a place where Krishna decorated Srimati Radharani. It's a very wonderful place. Anyway, he was the Mahant there. His name was Nanda Kishore Goswami. And Nanda Kishore Goswami had many different disciples. And as a good spiritual master, he was training his disciples in Shastra. But he had one disciple, his name was Bandhu. And Bandhu means someone who's a little bit of an idiot. They're not very sharp. But Bandhu, he couldn't learn Shastra. He wasn't very good in Sankirtan. He didn't know slokas or anything. But Bandhu was very, very sincere. So Nanda Kishore Goswami accepted him as a disciple, and he gave him the service of taking care of cows. And every day Bandhu would take the cows across the Jamuna River to Bandiravan. And one day when he was there in Bandiravan, some of the local Brijbasi boys, they told him, Sadhuji, you're very lucky that you come here and herd the cows, because you know who else comes here every day with their cows? Krishna. Krishna, to this day, he's coming here to Bandiravan with his cows. And Bandhu said, really? Yes, he's coming. And Bandhu got very excited. Oh, where's Krishna? Where's Krishna? And he started searching for Krishna. But he didn't find him. And many days went by, weeks went by, months, and years passed by. And Bandhu couldn't find Krishna. Until finally, Bandhu just started crying. And he was wailing and weeping. Oh, Krishna, where are you? Krishna, Krishna. He was crying in such a piteous way that some other local boys heard his crying. And they came running there. Is everything okay? Did someone get hurt? Did someone die or something? And Bandhu said, I can't find Krishna. And they said, oh, it's one of those Hare Krishna people. They said, Maharaj, we've met many sadhus like you. Take our advice. Don't waste your life looking for Krishna. We've seen so many sadhus, they just waste their whole life crying and going from one forest to another, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And don't pay attention to that. You be our friend instead. That's something practical, right? We're Gwalas. We're also cowherd boys. And they were local boys. They also took care of cows. And Bandhu made friends with them. And every day when he was going to Bandiravan, he would play with those boys. One day, when he was leaving Nanda Kishore Goswami's ashram, Nanda Kishore Goswami said, hey, Bandhu, what are you carrying on your head? He said, oh, Guru Maharaj, it's a sack of atta flour. Why are you taking flour? Oh, there's a feast today with some of my friends in Bandiravan. And Nanda Kishore Goswami said, you didn't tell me you have some friends? Yes, Guru Maharaj, very nice boys. Tell me about your friends. Oh, Guru Maharaj, they're really nice boys. They're Brijbasi boys. The leader of them, his name is Kanu. And Guru Maharaj, he's so beautiful. I know it sounds crazy, Guru Maharaj. He's blackish, but he's beautiful. I've never seen a blackish person who was so beautiful before. And Guru Maharaj, he has beautiful curly hair and his eyes are amazing. And Guru Maharaj, he plays the flute sometimes. And when he plays the flute, I'm not exaggerating, Guru Maharaj, I saw it with my own eyes. One day he was playing the flute and I saw the Jamuna River stop and it started flowing backwards. Another time I saw him playing his flute and the stone melted and the birds came and they started drinking from the stone. And then he stopped playing the flute and the stone became hard and the birds got their beaks stuck. I saw it. It's an amazing thing. Nanda Kishore Goswami was listening to this description of his disciple, Bandhu. And Nanda Kishore said, Bandhu, today when you go meet your friends, you tell them that they're all invited here to the ashram tomorrow for a big feast. And Bandhu, when he went, really, Guru Maharaj? Yes, yes, you tell them. Oh, Guru Maharaj, thank you so much. They're my good friends. Yes. So Bandhu went that day, and he was playing with Krishna and Balaram and their friends. And we didn't understand who they were. And then Bandhu remembered. He said, "Hey, Kanu, good news, tomorrow. My Guru Maharaj said you're all invited. We'll go have a big feast at the ashram, so you have to come tomorrow." And then Krishna, he paused for a moment. He said, "Bandhu, you tell your Guru Maharaj I'm sorry, but I can't go." Bandhu said, "Hey, come on, it's my Guru Maharaj. Don't joke with me like that. You have to come. It's Guru Maharaj. You have to go." And Krishna said, "No, you tell your Guru Maharaj that he won't be able to see me in this lifetime." And Bandhu, he became disturbed, and suddenly his lips started quivering. And without saying anything, he spun around in his heel and he started walking away very fast. And Krishna, who was sought after by the greatest of yogis and mystics, Krishna started running after him. Krishna was grabbing his kurta. "Where are you going? What is it?" And Bandhu, without even turning around, he said, "You're not my friend anymore." He said, "If you won't come and see my Guru Maharaj, you're not my friend, and I don't want to see you anymore." And then Krishna started pleading with him. No, Bandhu, of course I can come. What I meant to say is Balaram can't come because it's his birthday, but your Guru Maharaj is asking, I have to go. Of course I'll go." And in this way, Nandi Kishore Goswami had darshan of Krishna. And he wrote a very wonderful book later in Bengali called Vrindavan Lilamrita, which is based on the Bhagavatam. Very nice book of Krishna Lila, pastimes that he actually saw, many himself, by the mercy of his disciple Bandhu. And therefore there's a verse, very appropriate verse in this regard, in the 7th canto of the Bhagavatam, the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, where he says, "Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kama bhikama manuyan praputam prasangat kritvatmasat surashena bhagavan grihita soham katam nuvishije tavabritya sevam." He said, he told Lord Nrsingadev, you see, Lord Nrsingadev said to Prahlad, "Prahlad, I want you to come with me to my abode. I want you to be with me. You're my dear devotee." And Prahlad said, "I'm sorry, I can't go." What do you mean, I can't go? The Supreme Personality of God is asking you to go to his abode, and you say, "I can't go. I have something more important." And it's difficult to say no to Lord Nrsingadev also. He's a very angry personality. I can't go. What's so more important? He said this verse, "Evam janam nipatitam prabhavai kupi." I was falling along with all the rest of the populace, and I was falling into a deep coop, a deep well. But your devotee, Narad Muni, he saved me. So hum katam navishajay tavabritya sevam. How can I give up the service to my Gurudev? My service to my Gurudev is more important than service to you. So this is Guru Atmadaivata. Seeing Gurudev as a manifestation of Krishna. He's my form of Krishna. And it's our responsibility. We should not blame anyone else. We should cultivate our sincerity and cry to Krishna. And if, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta says, we're sincere, Krishna, understanding our sincerity and our devotion with a desire to guide us, he'll send us a true guru. And we may already have guru. That's another thing too. Sometimes someone may already have initiation with guru, but we don't understand, we don't see guru. It's not that this process only takes place before I take initiation, although that's ideal, but it may also take place after initiation. We may develop this sincerity then when we start crying and crying in the heart. When can I see Gurudev? When can I understand him? I want Krishna. And then we'll understand Guru in a truly deep way. So there's many, many things. Maybe I'd like to speak a little more about this second verse again, this 22nd verse, but I'd like to stop now. It's late, and I know a lot of you have to work tomorrow, you have children. Please forgive me. Can we have some discussion? Does anybody have any reflections? Remember we asked you about that in the beginning? That's my humble request. If anybody has any thoughts, any Prabhuji?
It's very common that Buddhists don't think. They are take initiation, they are not thinking how much they are qualified. It's a very, very, very relevant point to be noted.
Many times we don't think about my qualification, we just think about his qualification. Because, it's a big thing. If I get initiated, then everybody's going to say, who's your guru? And if I have to say it's such and such Maharaj, and he's not so exciting, he doesn't know so much, and it's embarrassing, right? I mean, I don't want to be embarrassed. I want to have a high-class guru that I can be proud of. Some people have this kind of materialistic attitude. It's very bad. Any other reflections from anyone? Anything that you heard that you liked, that resonated with you, or reminded you of something else, I hope? Prabhuji?
I was inspired by Shankar Prabhu. I used to work in volunteer in Hare Krishna in this temple, and I'm just participated in a temple in Barhevan, Shiv Shakti Hindu temple, and Shankar Prabhu heard it. He was very happy. He invited me along with my family and other volunteers to be part of your speech. So I'm very grateful. I learned a lot 30 years back, and that I would say like knowledge or good things, like it's time for me to give to others.
Thank you for sharing that. There's different types of gurus, and one of them is called a Varmapradarshika guru.
That means that someone who wakens us up a little bit, tells us, hey, you should go to the temple, you're a spirit soul, you're not that body, you should chant Hare Krishna. And that's what you're sharing with us right now. That's a very, very important thing. And we should always appreciate that. And whoever helps us to come to Krishna, we show our sincerity to Krishna by our appreciation, by what that person's done for us. Very good, thank you. Any other reflections from anybody? Marish, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I just want to say that your stated objectives in the beginning of your presentation to expand on a topic that I very much wanted to be expanded upon, and it would be very satisfying to me if this topic was expanded on, because I wanted to hear it expanded upon. Your stated objective was, on my account, was definitely achieved. Thank you very much. Your stated objective was definitely achieved, and I thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Very good. Anybody have any questions or anything? Okay. See, it's very important, as we're going to hear later on in the same section of verses, one of the qualifications of a disciple, and we'll speak more about this later, is a nice verse, Paraspara, Krishna Parasparanu Katanam Pavanam Bhagavad-yasa Mita Ratamitastushana Vita Mita Atmana, that we should learn how to associate with devotees. This is one of the qualifications of a disciple. And the first word used is Paraspara. Paraspara is a Sanskrit word, it's also a Bengali word. In Hindi also, can anybody say? I'm not sure. That means exchanges. Some back and forth. And that, it doesn't say that you should hear lectures. Yes, it means some back and forth amongst the devotees. It's an important qualification. Not just that we're passive, but there should be active listening. And that's why I like to ask for reflections. Krishna, can you have something? Speak really loud, my hearing is...
This Sarvam Kunjava Shochavat verse, where Vishwan Chakra speaks about how we should see Guru as direct.
This verse, how subscriber we should see Guru as a manifestation of Krishna.
Manifestation of Krishna, direct is Krishna. Just every time I think about it, I'm realizing my disqualification. And I'm really like feeling very lost and humble, and I really don't know what to do about it.
That's a very
beautiful, heart-bearing comment. She said, for those of you who couldn't hear, that every time she hears this verse from 7th Canto, chapter 15, that Narad Muni speaks that one should see Guru as manifestation of Krishna, and if someone doesn't see him as Krishna, Vishwanath says that all their devotional activities don't give any fruit. Well, maybe this is part of our problem. Maybe it's not the fault of Guru, maybe it's my fault. Because I don't have faith in Guru. Because I've just taken initiation in a casual way with somebody just so I have a name, so I like him in a material kind of way, but I'm not approaching in the proper way. It's a very, very deep comment. Thank you. It reminds me of something else I read recently, Let's see if I can find it here. This is in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. We have our Krishna Katamrita Bandhu magazine. In our last issue, we have a section usually we call Nam Tattva. And in the last issue we had this verse from the second canto, chapter 3, text 169 of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Ichavasat papam upasakanam kshiyeta bhogan mukam apyamusmat prarabdha matram bhavati taresham karma vasishtam tad avashya bhogyam. As the worshippers of the Lord desire, by the chanting of His holy names, they see their sinful reactions dwindle to nothing, even the reactions they're about to suffer. And when other people somehow chant His names, they need only suffer that part of their karma already manifest. So, in his commentary, Sanatana Goswami has said that very quickly the Lord's names clear away all the reactions to our sinful activities. And then he says something which really caught my eye. He said, only if devotees, for some reason, want to keep their karma. Only if for some reason devotees want to keep their karma, is that karma not removed. I thought, oh, this is my problem. I'm not a bona fide disciple. We were just hearing Srila Prabhupada saying a bona fide disciple is someone who's not attached to their body and the material life and things. I'm attached to my karma. I'm attached to my situation and things. And because I'm attached to that, I don't want it to go away. I'm holding on to it. And therefore the karma is still there. And I'm still suffering because of that. Heavy thing. Okay. Naranja Maharaj, would you like to lead some kirtan? That'd be all right? Is it too late? Is Shankar around? Can you go down and ask Shankar Prabhu? Do you mind?
What's the program?
I don't know.
While we're waiting, I just want to share a quote.
Okay.
I really appreciated when you talked about the box.
I thought I was going to get in trouble for that.
No, it was great. It was great. It was great. I wanted to quote Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Do we really need to be introspective? He says we have to give up external vision, the vision of material enjoyment in material forms, and become introspective. Until we become introspective, we will continue to depend on external vision. External vision is illusory. If we are eager to know the contents of a letter, we show no patience when looking at the envelope. If we see objects in this material world as ingredients only for the Lord's service, we will no longer have external vision. The Supreme Lord is situated everywhere in this world, situated in the hearts of all living entities. The Lord is always situated in the temple of my heart just to give me the opportunity to serve Him. When this conviction becomes prominent in our minds, and according to the logic, a learned person sees everyone equally, therefore I can perceive my worshipable Lord everywhere. We will find our external, inferior, worldly vision cleared. At that time, I will consider the entire world full of happiness.